If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.
How much improv goes on? Because this cast, I mean, clearly season one, with any new show, you have to kind of feel it out. But this cast has such a good chemistry just watching as a fan. How much improv goes into, I mean, clearly you write scripts, but how much of it is on the actors because they had that good banter?
I mean, you have to write scripts because obviously Mr. McGiblets can't just show up on set as an improvisational sort of notion. A costume needs to be built. An idiot who's willing to get inside of that costume needs to be hired.
Zero ventilation.
Yeah, it's not great. It's not great. But, we write scripts and there's, really outlined detailed stories and lots of fun stuff, lots of dialogue in these scripts. And then they get to go loose and do what they like. And, it's like comedy stock exchange. Whoever's got the better joke, it's either in the script already or it's something that somebody else comes up with, or we're rewriting live on the spot, just like you would on the floor of any television show.
Every scene's a live rewrite with a brilliant improvisational cast.
They're amazing.
And we've got 3 cameras going. So it actually, the thing I can equate it most to is it's like shooting a sports comedy event. Because you're literally moving the cameras here. No, say that again. Try this, try that.
So try this, try that is part of the game.
Try this, try that. They're trying stuff. Oh, no. Say that, but wait till after. Hold on. Stop talking. Let him go. Camera, move over. Get it. And it's crazy.
If you watch this, then you can see a little bit of a glimmer of what Jeff's dream real job would be, which would be to not be an offensive coordinator. So that's really, if Jeff could do anything, Jeff would be an offensive coordinator.
He's in charge.
He would like to be in
charge.
Drop
the plays.
He would like to be, go do this, go do that. No.
That's the same as being the director or the exec producer of the show. It's like, I can't act, just like an offensive coordinator. He cannot run the ball. Right. But you want to tell, no, do it like this. Just do it like this.
Do what I say, not what I can't do.
Exactly. Right.
Perfect.
Those who can't do coach.
So, Jeff and Jackie Schaffer here from the league, amongst many other things. Part of it's you guys have worked with some comedy royalty, right? I mean, Seinfeld, Curb Your Enthusiasm, Larry, all of that stuff. Picking things up. Like, people have asked me all week, like, Joe Flacco's got a new offense coordinator. I said, he kind of likes working with geniuses. It helps him pick stuff up. Who wants to work with the same people all the time? And I think in your industry, you get on a show, and other than guest stars or Marshawn Lynch punking you, you're working with the same people, and you get outside your box a little bit. Just talk about Seinfeld and Curb Your Enthusiasm, because I think in our generation, there's not much more that's the top than working with those people.
The amazing thing, Larry David, Jerry and Larry sort of taught me everything I know about how to write and how to produce. And because on Seinfeld, they would let us, you'd write the scripts, then you'd be there. You could follow them on. You'd be on set. You'd be in casting. You'd be in editing. You'd be in sound mixing. So you know how to do everything. And the interesting thing is, Seinfeld, Curb, and the League are actually written the exact same way, which is it starts with an outline on a dry erase board, and you do this. You come up with stories for everybody.
And wouldn't that be funny? And what if this character did that? Is that the way it works?
And then connections. We have like a bunch of crazy ideas, and then it's like, oh my gosh, that connection to that story works perfectly.
And you sit there and you work on that dry erase board till you figure out you have an outline.
It's like comedy geometry.
And then the only difference is Seinfeld, we spend a few days writing the outline into a script. Curb, we don't write the outline, and the League is a little in between. But it still starts out from, hey, where are the funny stories, and then how do we merge them together and intersect them? And that's, not everybody writes that way. That's sort of how I learned at the knee of Larry and Jerry, and it works for me, but you have to generate a lot of stories. So that's why you're always out looking around, which, by the way, one thing, because I know we're at the Super Bowl, and I want to you guys see this all the time. I don't mind before the games, but at the game, at the Super Bowl itself, where the New England Patriots are playing the Seattle Seahawks, why is someone else walking around in a Packers jersey or a Tampa Bay jersey? It is like wearing a wedding dress to someone else's wedding. You don't.
It's always
I'm
that
guilty.
guy.
I wore Ravens stuff before the Ravens ever went to the Super Bowl. Now, I roll in.
But at the Super Bowl?
At the game.
I actually the other day we had a guest on, played in the Denver Green Bay game. My famous moment. I was on the cover of Sports Illustrated when Elway handed the ball off to Terrell Davis in San Diego. I was in the end zone with my pal like this on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I was wearing a Ravens jersey.
But is it just to say I love football? I'm part of this.
No,
I know I'm not a part of this.
I will always be a Ravens fan. That's what it is.
I would say, because I cover baseball as well, every game I've ever been to, there's always that guy who's wearing a jersey.
Hockey's that way. You go to hockey games, any hockey game you go to anywhere in the world, someone's wearing a different jersey. It's kind of like a badge of honor for hockey.
It could be an Orioles-Tigers game in mid-July, and someone's walking around with a Philadelphia Phillies or Toronto Blue Jays
Well, it's
jersey.
usually a Yankee fan because,
right. And I always say there's always one.
Right. right. Jeff and Jackie Schaffer, tell me more about like what you're doing this year, and obviously the Seahawks are a big part of your life this week.
This has been, being a Seahawks fan has always been like being the fan of like some obscure Japanese like punk band that like no one's ever heard of, and people are like, "Why are you a fan of that? You're just being weird to be weird."
Are they still in the league, or are they in the Canadian league?
Right. It's like we were the shonen knife of sports fans, but now, for the last few years, everyone has to talk about the Seahawks.
And notice he's wearing gear, by the way.
I know. I'm always wearing gear now. Everyone has to talk about the Seahawks, and not only that, the Seahawks.
And none of it's lime green, which is even crazier.
And the shirt is blue and green.
Yeah,
there's a little bit of jacket. There's a gear.
I am proudly wearing Seahawks stuff. I'm reveling in the fact that everyone has to talk about the Seahawks. The sentence that I'd never heard until last year: "Can anyone knock off the Seahawks?" That sentence had never been said since 1976. I promise you. So this is a great time. So right now we've been going to all the games, and that's been a blast. And we've been writing the new season, which we have to start shooting in the spring and summer. So as Jackie said, we've been meeting with people. We come here. We meet with some NFL stars of past.
Get me a SAG card, please. I've always wanted to be an actor.
Get an idea for a punter episode, by the way.
Get an idea for a punter episode. We're collecting right now. This is really FX sent us here for. It's like casting an idea it's an idea farm. It's awesome, and we get to watch our team in the greatest game of the year.
I thought lime green was really, really wimpy. Like, I thought it looked so USFL or like WFL if you're old enough, right?
Yes.
And then last year at the Super Bowl in New York, everybody had it in Times Square. And I said to Jen, I'm like, lime green's pretty cool, man. They all look like a bunch of highlighters, but they stand out.
That's right.
And it beat the old Jim Zorn color scheme, I think.
It did. I think we've actually made progress. We've made progress.
Still love Steve Largent, but this is a better jersey. Jeff and Jackie Schaffer, the league, of course.
On FXX.
On FXX.
On FXX.
Had to get that plug in. The transition, I think most people have received the memo by now.
Yes, on FXX and on Netflix, which we love. But season 7 will air.
And by the way,
in
for Baltimore
September.
fans, one of our favorite guest casts of all time was T-Sizzle.
T-Sizzle was
He's
amazing.
crazy.
He's the
so good.
funniest guy.
He's
really
a
funny
Talk
guy.
about improv. That man can improv. He is funny.
We've seen The Locker. He is inspired by all the great works of WWE characters.
Oh, yeah.
So, that's literally, that's his shtick. All right, we got to step out. We'll take a break. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us.
And being awesome. See, they say these Hollywood types are all, but you guys are all right.
Thanks.
We're going to go back, get in our gold car and drive away.
Okay. Please make me a star. Jeff and Jackie Schaffer. We'll step out and take a break. It's WNST.net. All brought to you by Charles Newsonoff & Sons and Continental Title. We are live at Super Bowl 49. We're in Phoenix. We are WNST Towson, Baltimore, and we never stop talking Baltimore sports.
If you love Baltimore sports, you'll love WNST.net.